Back at the beginning of the season, I started what I hope to be a new yearly tradition of predicting Imsa's class winners. Now, ahead of the final race of the season, it's time to look back at those predictions and see how many I got right and how many I got wrong. Videos pulled up, linked in the description or up in the corner for you guys. Let's kick this off now.
Last season, Imsa saw some incredible battles across all 4 of their classes.
I mean, we did see a lot of good battles last year.
Strong championship season. LMP2 saw 5 different winners in the 7-race calendar.
Not
GTD
surprising.
Pro had an extremely dramatic final round that went right down to the closing laps.
Forgot about how
Well,
crazy
in
that
GTD,
was.
We saw one car dominate right from the word go. The 2024 season
carried
was
that
a great
through
one, and
until
2025
into this
is
year
shaping
as
up to
well.
be no different. So,
Winworth
let's talk
looking
about
pretty
some
darn
season
good.
predictions,
I hope I
shall
predicted
we?
them in GTD.
The new season is right around the corner, and with it comes plenty of excitement and, of course, plenty of unknown. Now, some of you may know me for making some rather bold predictions over on the Rain Race podcast, but I know I can do better
I do make
than
some pretty
that.
reckless predictions
I think I
over
can
there,
get,
can't lie.
I don't know, maybe 50% of
Ooh.
the season champions, right? Is that a little
50%.
bit
This is the first time I'm
over-optimistic
watching
here?
this
I mean,
back,
might as
too,
well
so.
set the bar high, right? But the whole point of this is,
50%?
as I'm making my predictions, I want you to play along.
Okay, I'm gonna
as
put a
well and
counter
make
up
your
on this-
predictions. You
counter
can
up on this
copy and
screen.
paste the pinned comment below
50%
with
is
all
what
of
we're
your
going
full
for.
season
That's-
and Michelin Endurance Cup
that's not gonna
championship
happen.
predictions. Stick them in the comments because I know I'm gonna love looking back at these at the end of the season, and maybe we'll do a follow-up video to it. But without further ado,
we are
let's
doing
just
a
get
follow-up
into it.
video.
Of course, we're gonna start off with the GTP class, and what can we
Classic.
say? The GTP class has delivered the first 2 seasons that it's been on the Imsa grid.
GTP's been solid this year,
2023 saw
too.
it go down to the wire in a late race battle in the final race.
I don't
of
think
the
we're gonna have a
season.
championship
That
fight like
featured a
that
little
this
bit of
year, but
controversy, but it saw the 31 Action
guess
Express
a guy can
Racing
dream.
Cadillac emerge victorious. Last year was a competitive season, but in my opinion, it was really a 2-horse race between Cadillac and Porsche, and of course we know how it all turned out.
Bit of a
Porsche had
one-horse
really
race
strong
this year.
season and went on to the championship. The GTP schedule this year looks a lot like it did last year. It's the same lineup of races, and of
I'm
course
interested
the
to
only
see
2
where I'm going with
rounds
this
that the
one.
GTPs won't be present at are the CTMP round and the VIR round. It also
Okay.
features a fairly strong grid as well. There will be 10 full season entries, plus
Actually-
the Valkyrie for kind of an 11th full season entry. It's missing the Rolex 24, but
least
should
I got
be there
that.
for the rest of them. And then
That's
add
not
in the
prediction, though.
SC63 and add in Proton, and you have 13 cars.
Unfortunately,
for
we lost
Endurance Cup
Proton.
races. I just believe that these are going to be very
RIP.
difficult predictions to make. You know, we're in year 3 of this GTP formula now, and there's so many.
Turns out it was easier probably than I thought.
To go along with it, there's also been a ton of shuffling in this class this silly season.
It's actually
And
a
when
really
we're
good
talking
point.
About a class as tight and as close as the GTP class
The only
is,
stability that we really
any
had was
little
probably with
advantage
Porsche.
that these teams can get is going to be huge at the end of the season when the championship is decided. I think it ultimately boils down to a 3-horse race here in GTP between 3 manufacturers.
Okay.
Acura,
Okay.
Cadillac, and of
Well,
course we have the defending champions Porsche.
Yeah.
Now the Cadillacs have seen big
Okay.
change.
No
Either
BMW
the team
mentioned, but-
running those cars in Imsa has changed, or in the case of the 31, which is staying with the same team,
I
the
hope
driver lineup has changed pretty significantly. Porsche, on the other hand, have seen much fewer changes than the other 2 manufacturers,
and
they're
that's
making
shown through at the beginning of
relatively
the
minor
season.
changes comparatively. But the thing that does it for me in this GTP class is the level of hunger. In 2023, Porsche was mad about how the season ended for them. You remember, in GTP, there was that crash at Petit Le Mans that dashed any hopes that they had at the championship. Relatively silly incident that they got caught up in. And then, of course, their GT car was struggling as well to add a little bit of extra fuel to the fire. But look, they harnessed that. They built off of that into this past season, the 2024 season.
And they're going to continue
they went out
building
and
on it in
dominated.
25, Stu.
They won championships. They won a ton of races. The car on the grid that I see that could have the same level of hunger as Porsche showed last off-season is Meyershank Racing.
Okay.
And the number 60 is my pick for the full season championship.
Okay.
Now look, it's not just the incredible driver lineup
that's not
here,
possible,
Paul
but
Braun and Tom Blomqvist.
0 for
This team
1.
has overcome so much to get
I really
back
like the
here,
path
and
I was
they're gonna
going
be
down with that,
eager
though.
to prove that Acura made the right move in bringing them back. They already know how to win in this car, this class, and this championship. And they would have been champions in this class easily back in 2023 if it hadn't been for that Daytona penalty.
I like this. I like the thought process here.
A manufacturer that all have something to prove. I think that Meyer-Shank Racing does what they should have done in 2023 and take.
Kind of like that prediction, to be honest.
For the GTP Endurance Cup, well, there's a
Porsche just got off to too hot of a start.
I think last year everybody thought was going to be a breakout contender, but they just never really got to that breakout point. The number 40 Wayne Taylor Racing Cadillac of Jordan Taylor, Louis Delatraz, and Alex Lynn will have a steep learning curve ahead of them, but I think they'll be on for a big Michelin Endurance Cup. The Cadillac platform has proven to be a strong one across many.
What do the points look like in the Michelin Endurance Cup? I don't think it looks very good right now. All the way to the top. Are they even in the running? They are not. They are 14 points back. They have had nothing go their way. I guess they finished second at the Glen, but that's about it. That's not a good Michelin Endurance Cup right there. That's 0 for 2.
Of the tracks in Imsa.
It's 0 for 2.
I think that this car can really shine in the longer Michelin Endurance Cup races. Cadillac Wayne Taylor Racing is a great organization, and pairing them back up with Cadillac, I think that this car will hit the ground.
Does the 10 have a chance at least? No, they don't.
Running in 2025,
That's good.
And the number 40 takes the Michelin Endurance Cup GTP crown.
0 for 2.
I also want to throw in a bold prediction or a breakout pick here, because who doesn't love those? And honestly, for me, looking up and down the grid, I hone in on BMW.
Oh, okay, let's
has
go.
A car that finishes in the top 4 in the full season championship standings and is in the running for that championship until virtually the end of the season. Now, I don't know if this is really a huge bold prediction, or a bold breakout, but let's just take a step back and consider where this program is coming from.
Take it.
They finished last.
That's a win. I'm putting that one on the board. BMW has been in contention all year long. They couldn't put it together at the beginning of the season, but they broke it with the 1-2. I'm taking it.
And that was when only 8 teams were competing in the GTP class full time. Now, they started to show more life at the end of the 2024 season, in particular at Indianapolis, but also at some other rounds. And I think they can take that to the next level in 2025.
And they
did. I think that they
did.
Pick up 1 or 2 wins over the season. But more importantly, what I think this car can do is just build some consistency. If they can build some consistency, pick up, a good race win or 2
consistently
along the way,
messed up at the beginning of the year, but they had consistent speed.
LMP2 is a fun class to look at because it's as strong.
This is just a complete wild card.
Yeah, despite
any of these should be worth double, to be honest.
Consistent and incredible racing year in and year out.
I think the
GT feels like it's a bit underrated.
GT's gonna save me.
This class saw 5 different winners in the 7 race championship. Yeah,
we've seen something crazy like that this year too.
10 cars that competed in this class got on the podium. The class is as wide open as ever, and they too will see some consistency in their schedule the next year. As their calendar remains the same, there was some rumblings that maybe they would switch a couple of things up, but that hasn't come to fruition. And that LMP2
they just like having that huge
They'll
gap
be doing all 5 of the Michelin
between
Endurance
Sebring
Cup events,
and
plus
the
Road
Glen.
America, and of course the CTMP round. Well, they will be the highlighting class. There are an expected 12 full season entries in this class, including a couple of entries from United Autosports.
And we didn't see any of these drop out, did we?
Racing, aka CrowdStrike Racing, is back.
They've
TDS,
been very healthy
Aero
this year.
Motorsport,
LMP2
Inter-Europol, PR1 Matheson, Pratt Miller Motorsports
also consistently
has
brought
their
out some
new
yellows,
LMP2
but
entry here.
that's...
Riley, AF Corsa.
They've also given us some really good racing.
This class is just so good, and it's underrated, I think. Like, people, why do we sleep on the LMP2 class? Anyways, I digress.
Well, we probably
As we've seen demonstrated
in LMP2 because
of in this class, if you have a good bronze driver in LMP2, there's a good chance you're going to be at the front. And there are so many good bronze drivers in this class. Tower Motorsports and John Ferrano, they're former champions here.
Yep.
United Autosport, who again have stacked lineups and a full season of IMSA running under their belt. You see George Kurtz and CrowdStrike, they're back on the grid. Stephen Thomas and TDS Racing. AO Racing Spike, they had a boatload of poles last year with BJ Hyatt.
Please pick Spike.
Of course, there's defending class champions Inter-Europol. But for me, there's one name that rises above all of these. And this is a car that didn't even pick up a win in this class last year.
I know where I'm going with this.
That car is the number 74 Riley. Gar Robinson and Felipe Fraga have been partnered for years.
Man.
They tore up the LMP3
I knew this is where I was going with this.
LMP2.
They're 181 points out heading into Petite.
Like they did an LMP3.
I don't know.
They still managed to finish second in the standings. And that was without a race win to their name. They're going to be hungry this year. And
they could still finish second in the standings. That's
for the LMP2 full season champion.
They're gonna edge out
in the Endurance Cup. There's a team that we saw with a ton of blistering speed last.
Okay, TDS. I have maybe a chance. Oh dear. Okay. This is not done yet. This is a maybe. They really came through at Indy and they clawed their way back in. 5 points is a lot to make up though. Like they're gonna have to borderline dominate at Petite if they want to have a chance.
Last year in TDS racing, they won the final 2 races of the year last year, and they're always
they also
among
won
the best in the LMP2 class.
Okay,
they returned once again with a
they won
great
here last year.
Lineup, more experience
they could win
under their belt.
At
Give me the number
Road
11
Atlanta
for the Endurance Cup in LMP2. As for a bold prediction or a breakout in this class, it's a little bit difficult for me to say that the team that won the 24 Hours of Daytona last year, as well as the Sebring 12 Hours, are going to be a breakout. But give me Era Motorsports here. Hear me out for a second.
This hasn't turned out well.
There's a lot of turnover here in the driver lineup from where they were last year, those lineups that won the opening 2 races of the season, to where they are today. Connor Zilic, he's going off to NASCAR, and he's doing a one-off GTD Pro
he's done an incredible job in NASCAR. Hopefully we get to see him at the Rolex again.
And their former bronze driver, Dwight Merriman, is off running in another championship. Now, Ryan DL, the Scottish fans, did I get that right? Is the only
That's true. I do well.
Here.
I always mispronounce Ryan's name.
Around him. Paul-Loup Chatin is an
He hasn't been in
LMP2
many races though this year.
Right, and he's going to be joining the car. It sounds like he's going to be joining them for the Michelin Endurance Cup rounds, but I wasn't able to find pure confirmation on that.
Era has not had a great season at all.
Season bronze driver Tobias Lutka, aka Toby. I've heard from multiple people now that he's shown very impressive pace.
He has shown impressive pace when he's raced.
Considered there, give me Era
especially for his first full year in LMP2.
Sort of bold prediction here in the LMP2 class.
Yeah, this one didn't work out well either.
Class that's newer to the Imsa grid, but I
gotta sweep the GT classes.
With 10 full season entries after Dragon Speed switched from GTD to GTD Pro, and an additional Michelin Endurance Cup entry there's going to be some great battles in this class.
There's no way I predicted
this doesn't
Dragon Speed.
Count the one-off entries for the Rolex 24 from the likes of Trackhouse, 75 Express, Get Speed, and the Heart of Racing. There is one round of the IMSA calendar that the GTD Pro cars won't be at, and that's the Long Beach round, but don't be surprised if you see some of those GTP cars making the trip to Long Beach and just competing in the GTD class.
Yeah, and Rexy won.
I'm dreading making these picks in GTD Pro.
I'm dreading listening to them.
Lineup that's ahead of us, and tell me a team that isn't capable of winning.
I think I have a chance at this one.
Class.
I think I have a chance at this one.
The field is absolutely stacked, and we're going to be in for a great championship fight. Ultimately, it's going to come down to who makes the fewest mistakes and who avoids trouble, which is basically the formula that Rexy followed last year. Consistent results. That being said, I see 2 very strong cars in this class that I think could break away from this strong GTD Pro field. And that's the 2 Corvettes. Look, they had their new car struggles last year, but the second half of the season, they emerged with consistent good pace. In year 2 of that car, I think they are going to have it figured out and end up being dangerously consistent. Again, basically what Rexy was this past year.
Absolutely.
But if I have to pick for the full season championship, give me the number 4 Corvette.
Oh, well, I picked the wrong number, but I'm going to take...
toss up between the 3 and the 4. But
I know that they haven't won it yet.
So give me
it's very close
4.
with Dragon
in the
Speed.
Endurance Cup, I think Vassar Sullivan is coming into this season hungry. Give me them for the Michelin Endurance Cup
That's not a good one.
This car has proven
not a
to
good
be
one.
A workhorse.
I'm going to take a partial win here on the 3 Corvette, though.
Assuming that new car
I'm going to take a partial win on that
next season. So for that, give me the number 14. As for the bold prediction or the breakout, look, I can already hear you guys groaning and moaning at this. And I've thought a lot about whether I want to include this one, because I'm obviously a Faf homer.
No.
But I think that Faf breaks through with not 1, but 2 wins in GTD Pro this year. Look, the last 2 seasons have been rough.
It's been a rough year this year too, hasn't it?
Let's not forget that this team is just a couple of years removed from being back-to-back GTD and GTD Pro champions. They seem to
They've
have some
shown
more support at their
signs.
disposal from Lamborghini, and that
They've
Huracan
shown
has proven
signs.
to be a winner in IMSA. Now that there's finally a full season GTD Pro Lamborghini on the grid, and one that is expected to feature 2 Lamborghini factory drivers, I think this is a recipe for a lot of success. But if you disagree and just want to call me a homer in the comments, then I will remember, and when I come back and revisit this video in the fall, I will definitely call you out.
I'll take my medicine.
On to GTD.
I'll take my medicine.
This is a GTD class where we just keep seeing the bar pushed higher and higher every season.
If they do win, then there's a chance. I guess there's like zero hope for Vassar Sullivan in the Endurance Cup, I think. Yeah. Oh yeah, my goodness. Yeah, Paul Miller Racing has that one locked up. That was a swing and a miss. It was a swing and a miss. Lots of swings and misses. I'm gonna take the half victory on Corvette though, even though they haven't won the GTD Pro Championship yet, and they're in a very close battle with Dragon Speed. Dragon Speed could very well win that, but you know they're right in it, right down to the wire. I need a small victory lap where I can take one, right?
Windward Racing dominated last year and returns to the class again.
I like where this is starting off with
their title. By my count, we should have about 14 full season entries and about 20 Michelin Endurance Cup entries, so plenty of entries in this class. And of that bunch, there are a ton that could contend for a championship. Like the GTD Pro class, this GTD class will be at 10 of the 11 IMSA rounds this season.
I have a feeling I didn't go with Windward.
And as for what we might expect to see in this GTD class, well, I don't think we're going to see what we've seen in recent years, where there's one team that like really goes and dominates everything.
Well, it
happened. I certainly
happened.
don't think we're going to see one of these cars pull off 4 wins like Windward did last year, or 5 wins that Paul Miller Racing won the year before. I mean, you just look at this entry list, and there's so many good lineups.
There are.
You got to think that the regulars of this class are going to be in contention for a win. You know, you're talking about your Windwards, your Vassar Sullivans, Heart of Racing. Did I mention Turner Motorsports? But then you can also see this other new wave that's pushing in with a lot of talent. You know, Wayne Taylor Racing, Korthoff Competition, Wright Motorsports. Oh man, did that 120 Wright Motorsports car ever have a big breakout last season? It's just such a tough choice because you look at all of these and they could reasonably be on for a championship.
5th in the points
right now. When I look at the Heart of Racing's lineup, it just stands out to me, and that's something that's difficult to do in a field as deep as GTD. Look, last year Heart of Racing was strong, but it was a bit of a down year for them, especially in GTD, as they adapted to this new Vantage Evo. As we know in GTD, the AM-rated driver can be a difference maker, and that's going to be Zach Robichon, who, believe it or not, is still a silver-rated driver. I think that makes the difference in a very competitive class like GTD.
As well.
But give me the Heart of Racing off the back of a strong summer, win the full season GTD championship.
Yeah,
in the Endurance Cup, I'm going with a
technically
team
it's still
that's
possible.
An icon of the grid and a fan favorite, and that's Turner Motorsports. Now, to be clear, I also think that Turner Motorsports.
Does Turner have a chance? Heart of Racing has a chance. Like, I don't want to discredit myself completely, but they're not in the running really for the championship. Turner, the 96 is in 12th in the Endurance Cup. These Endurance Cup predictions were pretty awful, not gonna lie.
Motorsports is going to be right there in the running for the full season championship. At the end of it all, though, I think they come up just short of the full season championship, but they lock down the Endurance Cup crown.
The 4th in the full
for a
season
bold
points.
prediction or a breakout prediction in this GTD class, I'm looking at the 45 Wayne Taylor Racing.
That's a win.
I think the Lamborghini is going to prove to be a very strong platform in IMSA.
I take that as a win.
Full season driver Danny Formal has another year of experience under his belt, and they've also brought in Trent Hinman to partner him for the full season. Combine the Lamborghini, which I think is on the rise, as well as a strong driver lineup, and I think this 45 is going to break through for a big win this year. Oh, it looks like that's it. That was pretty fun, wasn't it? I'm really looking forward.
There you go. I got what? I'm gonna take the 24, the BMW breakout. I'm taking the GTD, the 45 breakout. I'm taking a half point for the Corvette. That's what, two and a half out of 12. That's it's pretty good. Was there any of that? Maybe there's a little bit more. If there is, I'll correct it on the counter here. But yeah, that's predictions. Man, that was rough. We'll have to do this again next year, and it's going to be a pretty low bar that we're setting here. There are a couple of honorable mentions in there, with the Heart of Racing. They're second in the points right now, so I guess hold my head high a little bit there. But yeah, what were all of your predictions? How did your predictions turn out? You can go back and look and see if you posted on the original video back in January. And if you didn't get your predictions in for this one, don't worry. We're going to be doing this one again next year and see how ridiculous I look then. So yeah, post how your predictions have gone down in the comments, and then go check out this playlist on all of the 2025 Imsa news so you can make better predictions for next year. Huge shout out to all the channel supporters. If you too want to support the show, you can head to patreon.com/offintheesses or become a YouTube channel member by clicking the button below. Once again though, thanks for tuning in. I hope everyone has a great race weekend and doesn't go off in the S's.